This is Talk Easy. I'm Sam Fragoso. Welcome to the show. Rose Byrne.
Hello, Sam.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I was talking to a friend recently, and she's a mother to a young daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me the thing that really bothers her is that when she goes out in public with her friends always ask, before anything else, how's your daughter doing? In thinking about this film,
Sure.
I feel like the only place I want to start is, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
I love when someone goes, look.
I know. It's such a tell. I'll tell you what's interesting about this experience is this film premiered at Sundance, and that's in January.
Yes.
And we're now October 1st. And I've not had that experience of where you're shepherding a film from then to today where I sit with you. So but I've also been doing this a long time. So I'm just like, I'm a one day at a time sort of person anyway.
You're one day at a time.
I am one day at a time, one thing at a time.
So the film is called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And it's from writer-director Mary Bronstein. The two of you began working on the script during the actors' strike in the summer of 2023.
Correct.
Poring over all the details of the character, trying to get it right. How would you describe Linda to someone who hasn't seen the film yet?
Well, the audience is very much dropped into a crisis in the film, and not much, just to give it context, not much is explained about her. Very little, like nothing is explained about her. Your hand is not held throughout this film. There is no sort of establishing dialogue about, well, when I lived in blah, 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 or after I graduated from here, or there's nothing is spoon-fed, nothing is given to you.
It begins on a close-up of your face.
Yes, so we start in a close-up on a very, very tight close-up on this character, Linda, and she's slowly revealed to us through the film, but she is an agent of chaos, absolutely. And yes, it was obviously my job to figure out who she was.
How did she change in that script writing process when the two of you are poring over her details?
She didn't so as much change as she came to life more and more, and trapped with this sort of character as it can be one note. She's in a crisis and it only gets worse, and how do we avoid the pitfalls of just hysteria in every scene? And my obsession was who was she before? You know, everyone responds very differently to a crisis, so that was my job, yeah.
So crisis-wise, she's a mother and a therapist. She has a child with a mysterious illness, patients who have their own problems, a husband who's away on work and fairly absent. And then she has a therapist of her own, played by Conan O'Brien, who doesn't seem to be able to help her at all. And how do you hold it together in a 30-day shoot and Montauk, trying to keep everything at bay?
Well, Mary Bronstein, the writer-director, was very protective of the performance and of what I had to do and my job. And an independent film is chaotic, and one day is not the same as the next. I mean, so are big films, but, you know, we did this in 27 days on not much money, and it was ambitious. There's ambitious sequences in this movie. So I felt that when I was doing it, but really also after I was doing it too, I realized how much she had cocooned me in a way, in the best possible way, that I wasn't too exposed to the, you know, challenges that come up on an indie set.
She shielded.
Yeah, she did. And we had this great rehearsal period, and I think without that I would have been pretty untethered. But she was my touchstone. We were very much in lockstep throughout the whole thing.
I read that at night. I read that there was a lot of night shoots.
At night? You started taking drugs? No.
Yeah. Which is, I think the performance got better once you started taking drugs. And
it always does. It always does. Look at the great performances.
Sure. I think. Do you want to name some of them?
Dennis Hopper. Let's just go for the obvious. No.
Yes. So that was a little bit of a life informing the performance.
Yes, that's true. That's true. That was
for Dennis Hopper. Rest in peace.
Verite. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really sure he knew when the cameras were on and when they were off.
I worked with him early in my career in Australia, and he was actually very charming, as you can imagine, but he didn't like rehearsal. He didn't want to rehearse. He barely got through a read through of this very strange little movie we did. But in any case, yes, a little Dennis anecdote. I digress.
When you're on this set and then you go home at night or in the early morning, I read that you would send Mary long, impassioned text messages. What was the inner monologue coming out in those text messages?
Neurotic. Just my neuroses.
Right. That's why I want to get the language of your neuroses. Let's get it out here.
Oh, hope you got this. Was that okay? Not sure. Miss you. LOL. Just like that kind of thing. And did we get this? And was that enough? And how did that look? And how did this go? How did the day? Checking in about that stuff. So I was protective of it. I was just protective of what we were doing. And yeah.
You told Vanity Fair, my main goal was to, quote, not fuck it up.
Not fuck it up. I didn't want to fuck it up. I didn't want to fuck it up.
And what do you do to not fuck it up?
You text a lot.
Okay.
You don't sleep.
That's part of the process.
That's part of my process.
This is a church and state question. Do you think actors should have the cell phone numbers of their directors during production?
Ooh, it's so fascinating. I do, but I know that can always not end well. I'm sure you've had people sat in this chair where it didn't end well. Yeah. It could be a gamble, but I don't know how you, particularly with something like legs, I'm not sure how you could get around it without having the cell number, unfortunately.
My last character question.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, you went to the Atlantic Theater Company.
I did.
Studied with David Mamet.
Well, he wasn't there, but it's his school.
Yes.
We had
William H.
Macy came in and taught us. It was a summer program. And
he's I wouldn't say he's a friend of the show, but he's maybe a foe of the show, or he's certainly been on the show.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. I can separate art from artist, even if artist compare me to Hitler. And it's big of me, but I'm going to do it.
What a reference, eh? If you say that, good Lord.
And we're not cutting this out. But I think he's a genius of an artist. For this character in this film, how would you explain the human impulses behind her behavior? Because that seems to be at the heart of some of the teachings at Atlantic Theater Company.
I love that. Well, her impulse is to escape. She's just trying to escape. She's trying to escape constantly, but she cannot be where she is. She can't see anything in front of her, and she can't really hear anything either. She's very disassociated, and she's also becomes more and more self-destructs throughout the film physically as well, because she's not sleeping and she's drinking and doing drugs and so on, that sort of to add on top of the trauma of what's happening. Yeah.
The child in the film, it's basically a disembodied voice. You don't see the kid for 99.9% of the movie. When you read the script, did you think it was more like a horror film or a documentary?
It had some like horror tropes in it for sure. And when I saw the film, I very much, recognized that and have been in films like that. So, but there's also some straight drama in the movie, and I think big comedic set pieces in the film for my money. So it really does defy genre in a kind of punk rock way. It's been great to now have people see it, and everyone has a different experience. I'm still discovering things about the movie.
I have a lot of feelings about the movie.
I can't wait. I really want to hear about them.
We will come back to it at the end. Before we move on, why don't we play a clip from one of those drama comedy set pieces?
Yes, please.
Where you're straddling the line.
Okay.
This is you in a therapist's office with your therapist, played by Conan O'Brien.
Okay.
We do have to stop now. We are out of time. I have another patient coming, so.
Wait, now? What about the 10-minute warning?
Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention.
You didn't respond to the email that I sent you about my dream.
I don't respond to my clients' dream emails.
Okay, so if you don't bring it up, then what is the point?
Okay, you got me.
I had a dream, and I need to talk about it today, and I didn't get any time because you didn't give me a warning.
We can discuss the dream you emailed the next session.
Wow, it's actually a different dream.
Well, I don't really...
About you.
Okay, quickly.
Okay. I was in a hospital day room or recreation room or something, and I knew my daughter was also in the hospital, but far away, another part. And it didn't look like the hospital she was in last year, though, when everything happened. It was different. It was weird. And I was waiting for Charles to come get me so we could pick her up. But instead, you were there, and you wanted to sit really close to me. And I was like inching away from you on the bench, and you kept inching closer. And I got my phone out to text Charles because I was nervous he'd come in and he'd see. And then you tried to grab the phone, and then you started to tickle me to try to get me to drop it. And I was like, I was really enjoying it, but I was so scared that Charles would come in and he would see.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You got to tell me. We'll talk about it next time. Okay?
We won't talk about it next time. You know that. There's no thread. There's no thread at all.
That scene to me is about his regret that he said, tell me your dream. It's so funny. The regret playing out so beautifully on Conan's face is just, to me, hysterical. That to me is the comedy of that beat, is his deep, profound regret of, I've got to listen to this bitch talk about her fucking dream. Kill me. And her, again, oblivious delight in telling the story. To me, that's the love story in the movie. It's between those two.
The two of them.
Yeah.
You know, when we show clips to most actors,
Oh, God, what did I do?
they're not as excited about it as you are.
Oh, God.
Like, you seem
But it's my nerves. It's my nerves, Sam.
Okay. Is your nerves watching it together right now? Or
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
What are we nervous about?
Feeling self-conscious. It's a cover-up for sure. But I delight in that. It's both. Obviously feeling a little self-conscious to watch myself, but delight in that beat. I'm a good audience, and to me, Conan in that scene.
You are a good audience. You have a good laugh.
Thank you. I'm a good audience. Yes, my children are constantly making fun of my laugh.
How do they make fun of it?
They just imitate me, ha 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 ha, and they do an imitation. And I'm like, all right, okay, got it.
Have you ever had a therapist like the one Conan is playing there?
No, I have not. Like, this is like we were just chatting. It's like the love story of the film, and it's at the bitter end where it's really bad. Like, he's doing a bad job. They're misbehaving, and
They are misbehaving.
It's like awkward, and it's, you know.
Are you a laying on the couch kind of patient?
I've done the couch, lying down, and that was one thing. Yeah, it's one way to go.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, I like it for you, but just from. I mean, I don't actually. It's your therapy. You do what you want to do.
Well,
It's very uncomfortable.
What's supposed to be, right? Isn't it? What's
I don't mind.
the task? What's the result?
I feel it's a little bit of a hat on a hat. Like, therapy is already vulnerable.
Yeah.
I don't want to be horizontal with someone I'm paying.
I appreciate that. I felt like this person that I was
someone's going to do the breakup.
I know, someone's going to make fun of this. But I felt like, well, it just feels it feels like a cliche, doesn't it, too? You also feel like you're
in a Woody Allen movie.
You feel like you're in a Woody Allen movie. Yeah. Exactly.
Look, I don't want to play the role of the therapist, although the show sometimes feels therapeutic
I'm
for people.
sure it does. Good Lord, yes.
But I am interested in your childhood.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. Growing up in a suburb of Sydney, as the youngest of four, your mother a primary school administrator, your father a statistician by day, racetrack gambler by night. Your brother George said once of you, you were always a performer.
Oh, God.
Rose was, quote, very cute and trying to impress us by being a clown. She was also a bit of an attention seeker.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he was there, I guess. There's got to be some truth.
Is that
cute. That's
true?
funny. It's true. But at the same time, I was also shy. So I was a bit of both, which is a weird thing for an actor. People are like, actors aren't shy. But there's an element, I think, of that in a lot of actors who can be shy and find performing like what a great escape. And you're allowed to be somebody else in this that's not shy. And it's a weird license. It's a license that you get. So
What were you shy about?
I think I was just just shy, trying to fit in, not the most vivacious socially type thing. I was more of a backseat observer. Yeah, backseat observer.
Is that because you were the youngest?
I wonder. I'm sure it's got something to do with that, like birth order, all those sorts of things. But yeah, youngest of four was kind of fabulous too. Like what a great. We always had such a chaotic, lovely house with people coming in and out, and it was very open. And we were in a really great neighborhood. We were friends with all our neighbors, and yeah.
Your older sister had a friend named Rosie, I believe,
Yes.
who said, I think Rose should start acting. Why did she say that?
She was an actress, and she was going to the Australian Theatre for Young People, which was a youth theatre that had great programs for young kids. And I loved it. I was a ham. I remember putting on shows. I played Mary Poppins in the school play. Like I was absolutely a ham. And then going to drama class, I just loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
Did it make sense to you from the jump?
It did, in as much as a little kid can make, as a child, like who knows if that would carry on. And then plenty of other people in my class would also, I'm sure, loved it, but they've not continued to act into their later years in life. So I remember reassessing, like later on going to uni and stuff, like, do I really want to do acting? Is this just because I've done it for so long? Like, is it habit or is it love? What is it? So that was something I wrestled with later. Yeah.
What was your first paid job?
I did a film called Dallas Doll opposite Sandra Bernhard about a sort of dysfunctional family, and this American woman, this interloper, comes in and has an affair with my mother and sweeps her off her feet. And I was the daughter. It was a supporting role. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like a young girl who's obsessed with UFOs, right?
Yes, that's right. Oh my gosh. I remember my lines now. That's right.
You know what? We don't even have to remember the lines because we have them here. And
well,
I thought
this is like punked.
I thought we could kind of perform one of these early scenes together.
This is my audition scene.
This is the audition scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was my audition
scene. So set the scene for the audition scene. You're 13 years old.
Gosh.
And
I'm not reading with her. She's not reading with me.
Right.
You're not Sandra Bernhard, like you're the casting director. Wow, that's so crazy. Oh, this is like a full core body memory moment. That's so weird. It's my first audition, I remember.
That's amazing.
I remember learning it. Wow.
You played the young girl. Her name was?
Rastus.
And I guess I'll play the Sandra Bernhard part.
Yeah.
The character's named Dallas. I think the scene in the film is set outside in a like cornfield or something.
Yes, I think
it's
you're
nighttime.
Right. I think you're right. Yep. You're closing in.
What you looking for, Rastus? Charlie tells me you think you could find a UFO.
Charlie's got a big mouth.
What do you do if you see one?
What's it to you?
Just curious. You spend a lot of time out here. I just want you to know something. If there's anything on your mind, you can always talk to me.
There is something. How long are you staying?
You've got a lot of aggression in you, Rastus. I gotta tell you something, honey. There's no such thing as UFOs.
Bullshit. It's proof anyway. Circles in cornfields and photos.
And frauds. 2 old Englishmen went around making the cornfield circles. Didn't you read about it? They owned up to it. Said they've been going around making them for years.
Yeah, well, even if it is bullshit, at least it's my bullshit. I'd rather swallow that than your crap.
Your mom wants you in for bed.
Scene. Wow. This is talking about a UFO. I feel like my brain is exploding. This is so cool. That's right. Oh my God. Yeah. Isn't that great?
You said
Isn't that cool?
this was a core memory.
It really was. Like I remember that my intonation reading it, and like I remember like working on it, and her defensiveness, and like she's got to be aggressive in the scene, and it was very funny. That's so funny, Sam. Oh my God. How fun.
Did you feel after having made the film, you're like, okay, I think I could do this?
I mean, in that a blissfully ignorant way.
Okay.
A little bit, absolutely. Of like,
How long does
wow,
the
this is
blissful ignorance last?
about 6 months, I think. And then probably I continued to audition and then obviously didn't get parts. And then I got, ended up doing a soap opera when I was 15 in Australia. But I think, you know, I went back to school, and that's like, you just go back to reality and you're not in that. So, and my parents were incredibly like down to earth people who were always sort of going, well, let's see, you know, no, they didn't know anything about the business, but they were always tentative or more trying to be practical about it. Yeah.
You have a teacher there named Sharon Roberts.
Yes. Yeah. At Bradfield College. Yeah. In year 11 and 12.
She describes one of your performances as a cockroach scuttling about, which she said wasn't a particularly inspired choice.
Well, I mean, she's entitled to her opinion, but yes.
But the monologue that she developed for a 1997 HSC regional competition apparently was very good. So what was this? Because it seems like a kind of turning point.
The monologue?
Yeah.
It was an amalgamation of a few things. I'm not going to remember it correctly, but some of it was from, this is going to sound ridiculous because it is ridiculous. Some of it was Blanche Dubois from Streetcar Named Desire, and some of it was some poetry that my sister was studying at university at the time, and I can't remember the poetry, so I won't try to make it up. And then I think a little bit of freeform writing. So
of your own,
of my own,
so this is really
self-devised piece. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, it was like a self-devised piece with all of those things. It sounds insane, and I think it was insane, yes.
And yet the insanity won.
Sharon Roberts clearly has...
she has held on to that
she's
performance.
Held on to it, and the cockroach.
So at what point, you said the naivete, or you said the blissful... you said the blissful ignorance went away after 6 months.
Yeah.
As a late teenager thinking about going to America and acting, what was your ambition? Like, what were you thinking about? What do you think you wanted to do?
I was very aware by that point. And look, I had it completely regular. I was at high school. Like, I had a regular childhood. I wasn't a celebrity or anything like a child celebrity like some other actors who started very young. But I did audition. I did this sort of short-lived soap opera. So I was working. And then I finished school, and like all good Aussies, I took time off and like went backpacking and stuff and went to uni. But I loved acting, and I continued to do it. I auditioned for all drama schools. I did a TV show called Wild Side, which was pivotal. I worked with this coach called Nico Lathoris, who introduced me to practical aesthetics. So that took me to New York. So I was on a journey of creativity for sure.
Okay, as a student, how would you explain what practical aesthetics are for people who study under Mamet?
It's the words, right, on the most simple level. Like, practical aesthetics is very writer-driven, and it's really like, in the driest sense, it's like words on a page. There is no character. You just say the words, and that's it.
Yeah. I think I asked David Mamet what makes a good actor, and he says, well, they can act.
Which I kind of love. I love that.
And I was like, well, how do you know when they're good? And he's like, well, because you watch and they're good. And they say the lines on the page. And I think his quote was, they just say the fucking lines.
And that's kind of it. That's really essentially it. And yeah.
But can I say, people just watched the two of us, quote, say the fucking lines.
We did.
And it's really clear.
That I was terrible. Me, Rose.
No, it's really clear one is good at it and one is reading lines on the page. Because you're not really just reading lines on the page.
And there's the nuance. It's very nuanced, and there's a whole series of steps to the process, and there's many books to speak to this, and obviously the whole program there at Atlantic. But it very much spoke to me, and it became a sort of cult in Australia. It took off, and it was brought over by this wonderful actress, Melissa Bruder, and she started to bring teachers out to Australia. In any case, and I ended up studying at a summer program at the Atlantic, which was so fun.
I think it's around this time that you star in this now like cult classic of a film called Two Hands.
Yes.
And it's with the late Heath Ledger, a fellow Aussie. And I want to watch a scene from that and
Oh my God. Okay. Oh God. Good Lord.
and just see
really
and just see what
I
you're.
think I should lie down. Should I just lie down?
Yeah,
for the rest of this
we're
podcast?
getting close to therapy. So and so this is Rose using all the practical aesthetic education now put forth here in this scene. Let's take a look.
So you're from the country, eh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, what's it like out there?
I don't know. Less buildings, more cows.
You got a horse, you ride?
No.
And what do you do?
Oh, not much really. Just muck around, you know. It's pretty boring.
Yeah.
So, you're like a strip club guy, hey?
Yeah. Well, no, I've been doing that for a while, yeah, but I got a new job. And you could say I'm moving on.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm working for a guy, you know, just doing odd jobs here and there, that sort of thing.
Oh, right. It's like a handyman.
Yeah. Hey, what about you? Got any photos?
No, not really.
Hey, let me take one of you. Come on, let me take one. Look, I promise you I'm not gonna run off with your camera, eh? We gotta do something.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know, something.
Oh God, goodness me. Oh, kids, just kids, just kids.
What do you make watching that one?
You know, it's obviously very, there's a sadness to it. It's like, it's sad. And it's also of a time, and like I remember it was very, very hot. It was a really hot day, super, super hot. It's interesting just watching Heath's performance. He's so fine. He was such a natural, you know, and could hit every beat, you know, without you realizing or without seeing any homework. He was very charismatic, and I don't know, he had a self-possession about him, even though he was also quite shy. Sweet. Yeah, there's a nostalgia for sure. Yeah.
I feel like even in that scene, I can hear it, but also looking at you, some of the moves you do now are already there.
Sam, good. Blow up my spot. Oh God. Really? I feel self-conscious in that scene. I don't think I'm particularly good.
But the character's self-conscious in that scene.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's fair enough. Yeah, I suppose.
This is a woman who likes to be behind the camera.
Yeah, a
taking
girl,
photos.
a young girl.
A young girl.
Really, barely a woman. Yeah, it's a sweet scene. Yeah.
The film, that film really did a whole lot for you. Like, basically, you start coming to America after that. And there's this period that I'm like fascinated by.
Oh yeah.
Where you're in your early 20s in Los Angeles, going out to auditions, doing what people do. And I read somewhere that during that time, you also take a creative writing class at UCLA.
Good Lord. I am going to lie down. I am. I did. I didn't finish it. I did not finish it, but I did. I did a creative writing course, yeah.
You said, quote, I have to do something with my mind while I'm here. And I like writing short stories.
Oh,
also, being on university campus makes me feel young again.
I was young. What was I talking about?
I don't know.
21.
That's what
makes me feel young again.
Yeah. Well, I was like,
Good Lord.
I guess she doesn't own a mirror.
Exactly. I guess she's not in reality.
Or and that's helpful for an actor.
Is it? I mean, to an extent.
Yeah, you've probably worked with some.
Those things are true. I was I'm like a jobbing actor. I was trying to get jobs. Yeah. It's a weird town. A roommate recommended it. And I do love university campuses. All those things are true.
This is not a true or false interview.
It's not? It is for me.
You're not under arrest. This isn't an investigation.
Like a lie detector.
Yeah. I feel like I can't tell if you think we're in a therapy scene or like a scene from Law and Order.
Or Law and Order. Yeah. It's in the middle, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. We'll call it.
I know. I'm like the defense attorney for the young Rose Byrne, the criminal defense attorney.
Mariska Hargitay is going to come in anytime.
Yes. Benson.
Amazing. Just 10
Amazing.
out of 10.
Come on.
The best,
Iconic.
The best show. The reason I brought it up was not just to embarrass you. Actually wasn't meant to embarrass you at all. I found it very interesting that a young actor was like, I actually also want to do creative writing.
Well, I think I deferred university at that point, but I was always an English literature major. I always loved to read. I was a nerd in that aspect, and I was trying to not fall in the trap too. I was trying to be proactive about not falling into a trap of those sort of young actor tropes of just driving around Hollywood and losing your mind and getting stuck, falling into traps there. And not that I was like partying or anything, but just more trying to keep inspired.
What was the culture in the audition process at that time? Because I feel like it's, in my head, it's the audition scene from Mulholland Drive.
Oh, gosh. No,
It wasn't that horrible or interesting?
No, exactly. It was neither of those things. And I didn't have any horrible casting couch stories. And I know that that's legitimately, obviously I've totally exposed, and which is about time to talk about that. But I didn't have any of those. It was generally, the usual humiliating kind of things of not getting the part or being dismissed or being, the worst is when you have to wait for over an hour and you're stuck in the room with all these other actors going in, and that's pretty miserable.
Yeah.
But
how were you in those like touch and go periods? Because it wasn't until Damages
definitely
that it was consistent.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you deal with that?
Up and down for sure. Always thinking
antidepressants.
Antidepressants up and down. No, not at that point. I was just very. I always wanted to finish my degree. I was constantly returning to Australia. I would work in Australia. Like
this finishing degree thing.
What is that? I was chatting about that with someone too.
I read every interview you've done.
You poor thing. Oh my God.
God. It's going to be me lying on the couch after this, and you're going to host.
Oh my God.
But you bring this up.
I just want to apologize.
You don't need to apologize.
Do
I don't have to do it. I chose to do it. We show up for our guests here.
Oh my God.
But I have to tell you, in almost every interview, you talk about this guilt of not finishing the degree. What's that about?
Well, let's unpack it.
Yeah.
What is that? Why does one feel? Because I think a lot. I don't
You're
think
acting
that's
like you're the host of the show now. Well, let's unpack it.
Let's unpack, because I don't think it's exclusive to me, but there's some sense of achievement or accomplishment or legitimacy that that I can finish a degree, that I have some proof of it, and that I have knowledge of other.
Was it for your parents?
I'm sure there's a subconscious thing for my parents, but they were never pushy. They were
supportive.
They were supportive.
Your dad became a clown.
They were very, very supportive, but I was chatting about it with someone too the other night about I never finished my degree either. And we were like going back and forth with theories on like, and then talking about now how like a lot of people don't even go to college, and what do you tell your kids? You probably should get them to learn a trade because AI is going to take everybody's jobs anyway. So we should be, blah, blah, blah. But I'm sure it's some sense of like legitimacy of having some knowledge outside of just being self-taught or self-educated or whatever.
I will say, post Damages and in between you turning into this like comedic actor that people seek out, the way the press described you, it was very odd. It was very like of a 2000s moment.
Oh, fascinating. Tell me what. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you that all the women on our team were reading the quotes, and all of them had the kind of like ick emoji. And I want to pull one piece up from Esquire.
Oh.
This is from 2008.
Okay.
And I want to hold it because it feels like it's 1987 and 1997. But it was like, this is from 2007, 2008.
Wow.
And I just want you to see this.
Yeah.
This piece from Esquire.
Yeah.
Can you read the title of it?
Wow, funny joke from a beautiful woman. Wow. Oh my God, it is. That's ew. It's ew, isn't it? It's ew.
The joke is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's a section from Esquire. It was a recurring series from Esquire called "Funny Joke from a Beautiful Woman."
Wow, isn't that amazing? Hopefully you couldn't do that now.
You
right?
think that's like from the 50s?
You do. It is. It's like from the
That's
50s,
not that
yeah.
long ago.
It's not. And like the tragedy of like feeling like I had to do that. Like that is like what I call into question of like, I hope now, or even then, more so then, but I do hope now actresses are not put through that because it is so humiliating. And like,
Did you feel like you had to do it?
of course, no, you think like it's such a window and I'm not going to get work and this and that. And like, obviously, you know, it's like whatever, it's a harmless joke and a thing. Like I go, what, I hope people aren't having to be put through those ridiculous, reductive, sexist, you know, articles like that. That's really
It's like, it's true. Like
outrageous.
it's just one small piece in a magazine.
Yes.
But I guess what I'm asking you is like,
It's amazing. You know, I played Gloria Steinem in This Is America, and revisiting what she went through in the press, and there was this extraordinary interview with her on some like television show where she's been followed around and she's they're filming her ironing and doing her hair and paint, like this like bizarre sequence of like establishing this beautiful woman as also a thinking man's crumpet, like this sort of like, and it's so wildly dated and insulting, and he's so sleazy, this reporter, and she's just tolerating this thing, and that's sort of a version of that in a different way, but you know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's the same thing of being put in this uncomfortable position by a man to seem funny, and behind Gloria Steinem's eyes, she's just steely, you know, but it's this performance that women are asked to do.
it's like these small concessions.
Yes, this quiet tolerance, these small concessions, I know.
Being asked every day.
Yeah. And it was still going on in 2008.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
When does that change for you?
I think I aged out of it pretty quickly in the sense of like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to do that again, or I don't want to do that anymore, or and it's different for everyone. I mean, you know, in the hot seat, like of when that would happen. But I think it was pretty soon after. Was that 2008?
8.
Yes.
2008, 2009.
I feel like it must have. I hope. I've clearly blacked it out.
Well, it's around that time that you auditioned for Get Him to the Greek. And we do have that audition here.
Oh my God. It's traumatizing. Torture. Is this what you did to Mammoth? Did you?
Oh, that's why I walked out. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
You walked out for a lot of other way worse reasons.
Okay.
Are you drunk?
Yes.
Well, I had this party on the condition that you wouldn't be getting an evening.
No, I know that, but I thought to myself, I just turned 25, and, you know, fuck it. I want a fucking drink, so now I'm drunk.
But you could have warned me.
Well, I'm drunk. There. Now, you've been warned.
That's not really supportive.
Well, I'm a bit sick of supporting you. You know, you fucking brag that you kick your addictions, but you haven't at all. Instead of being hooked on smack, you're hooked on me. And if I wasn't around, you'd go straight back to doing drugs. Do you have any idea what sort of pressure that I'm under?
All right, come on, it's time for...
I am a prisoner to this man. This is like a fucking kidnapping. You know, I'm like a fucking concubine. He keeps me locked up in this castle like bloody Rapunzel.
When you go about pivoting out of that moment, and you're in this decade of like big budget American comedies, I guess I'm curious, like big picture, what did you want to do in those films, like Neighbors?
Well, I mean, to start with, I think I was very lucky in that this role in Get Him to the Greek was like outrageous and wildly like this, you know, self-absorbed pop star who was, you know, on a bend to sort of self-destruct, and as the sort of female counterpart to Russell Brand, but a great satire, you know, and a take on that type of character that you see in the media. And but then I think working on Bridesmaids and with Paul Feig, he's such a lover of women and such a lover of actresses, and I was so lucky to have that exposure early on in broad comedy, where it is obviously historically written and directed and devised by men. Or the bigger comedies in Hollywood are anyway.
Yeah.
And
basically most of the women basically are given nothing to do.
yeah, and I'm not saying anything new here. Look at the history of Saturday Night Live, wherever, there's like constant conversation around that and women in comedy. And I don't want to speak to it too much because I'm not that educated about it compared to like someone like Amy Poehler who's sitting in this seat, or Tina Fey, or the greats like that.
But your work did subvert that conception.
And that was really early on because I was so lucky that I had Paul Feig as a sort of mentor at that point. And then with Neighbors, we were really trying. There's so many tropes of the wife in these comedies and that they're the nag. And it was a very conscious decision and intention to create a couple that were sort of as silly as one another and as dysfunctional as one another. And not one of them wasn't trying to drag the other one down. And it was like very much a comic duo, which we then obviously went on to explore further with platonic and stuff, Seth and I, yeah.
I guess to go back to like thinking about the kid who left Australia, moved to America, very quickly became a pretty successful dramatic actress, and then pivoted into comedies in this great big way. Were you happy to do something that was funny? Like, were you relieved to show something else?
I was. I really was. I was very happy to. It was liberating. You know, I'd been, and like any actor, you may have success in one role and then immediately get 12 scripts playing like the same part in different versions, and you quickly learn, oh, okay, if I can have some agency over what I'm choosing next or what I go for next, where will I go? But it was totally liberating. It was totally liberating after quickly realizing you can get typecast and how to pivot off that, and how to find people who want you to pivot, who can be your who can facilitate that.
I want to play a scene from Bridesmaids.
Lillian, you're my best friend. And I'm so proud of you. And Doug Lee, I'm sorry, inside joke. You better not keep my Lil on a leash because I still need my drunken Saturday nights at Rockin' Sushi, okay? Everybody, raise your glasses to the couple of the decade, Doug and Lillian. Woo! Have a great night. Dessert wine is out.
It's funny watching that, and really any of these films, Neighbors, the sequel, Platonic to some degree.
Spy is a great.
Spy, yes.
I love giving love to because it.
The other Paul Feig film.
Yeah. It's such a funny film, and
Melissa McCarthy. Right?
Melissa's so good, and Jason Statham's so funny.
But you really perfected this comic character, this like very confident woman with a breezy exterior that completely obfuscates this interiority that's coming undone. And I feel like, and maybe this is a stretch, but I feel like I wonder if you see the link between those and what you end up doing in this new film of yours.
Oh wow! To thread a needle from this to Legs.
I think because in Legs you just get to play the woman who's coming undone. Like you're not really putting on any airs.
Yeah. She's given up. In other words, she's given up. Yeah.
It seems like this is the film that if they had like a second camera crew at the end of shooting one of these movies and you were like, hey, we're going to stay all night. We're going to make another film. This is going to be like the B-side of... This is the B-side of Neighbors.
I think this is I think this is a radical take. I think it's a radical take, and I kind of love it. I suppose I'm in it, so I don't have the power of sort of being able to fully see.
Okay, let me phrase it better. Like you hadn't been offered something like this.
No.
And I'm sure there's a part of you that when I'm ready to do this, is that fair?
That is fair. I think it's also fair that I was terrified. Like I was like, and I know I keep saying I didn't want to mess it up and all those sorts of things. But
what were you terrified of?
Of messing it up, for sure. This is a personal story. This is Mary Bronstein's, something that happened to her. This is a sort of an abstracted version of that. And you know, as an actor, you're waiting for the balls to get thrown. You know, you're waiting a lot, and to have that opportunity with the bat to have, you know, it is a big feeling. And yeah, I've had, a myriad of roles of like small roles in big films, big roles in small, you know, the gamut of things. And this was, I felt like such of course, an incredible opportunity for sure.
It's funny. One of the reasons she cast you, she said, is because audiences have a lot of affection for Rose Byrne. There's a lot of goodwill there.
Aww.
When you finally got to watch your performance in the film, what do you understand about the movie and story now that you didn't when you were making it? Like now that you see it all put together.
I think I just see it as this extraordinary creative expression, that this is creative expression and feeling that Mary Bronstein had to get out. She had to get it out. She had to tell this story. And it's not even a linear thing. A lot of it is very abstracted and Lynchian, and I see that. I see beyond me in it, you know, and that's wild. That's not always the case. You can get hung up on this and that, and the film itself is such a clear, wild, angry expression of a feeling that I feel. That's my takeaway.
It is a strong, angry impression.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier I had strong feelings.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, here's one.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship and you and your partner have been debating having kids, this is the film for you.
I don't know about that.
It's a perfect date film for people in the early stages of a serious relationship. And I'll tell you why. Because like most things made by smart women, it is a test of sorts.
I love that, Sam. I think that's wonderful. I think that is razor sharp.
It's a litmus test.
Yeah.
It also sometimes feels like a dare ad for the dangers of procreating. Like I've always wanted to have kids. I've never had more doubts about having kids.
Oh my gosh!
Than after watching this movie.
But can I say it is?
You can say, we're on a podcast.
I can say the 99%, hopefully, of parents will never go through. This is such a isolated, very specific situation that this family is in. So, just for all those people out there who do want to start families,
but the heart of the heart of my dumb joke,
yes.
You're a mother of 2 kids.
Yes.
This film really gets at it in a way that's like, oh man, talk about feeling seen.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend who saw it recently, a mother of 2 children, and she said, I feel invisible every day, because mothers are both revered and ignored. It's like a study in contrast. It's the truth. It's both things are true.
Yeah. It's like the thing I said at the beginning about my friend. She's asked about the kid.
Exactly. So
she's a full person, asked about the kid.
Yes. And that's the reality. And she just said, I feel so seen. I feel so invisible every day. And oh my God, she was like screaming to me on the phone, and I was dying. But she's not letting you off the hook. Mary Bronstein is not letting you off the hook. And she does it in very clever ways, very cinematically, with the way she uses the camera and the sound design, and it's very clever.
By the time the film ended, you said, quote, I was physically and emotionally bruised. 1, is everything okay?
Oh gosh, that's so wildly. It's so funny. Australians don't take themselves so seriously.
You don't.
I just sound so serious in that, and it makes me so uncomfortable because I am like.
I'm sorry.
No, because I think I was like probably. I think we finished with like a sequence, near the beach or something like that. So it was probably that's what I meant, but I definitely, when, you know what it is? It's your adrenaline is so high. It's as simple as that. And I've said this before, but there's a crash. There's just a crash after. And it can come mid-shoot. It can come at the end. It can go. And at the end, I just did crash because it was physically, obviously, a lot. And then subconsciously, of course, draining. But it's also so fun. Like all those things can also be fun. So, I want to stress that.
On the other side of the crash, now that we're here, what do you want to do? Like, what kind of work do you want to make? Because I know for a long, long time, your favorite filmmaker was the late David Lynch.
Yes.
Who passes here, unfortunately.
I know. Yeah.
This is the kind of performance I think that offers a kind of pivot moment. The same way you got to pivot after Damages into comedy. Now this
thank you.
into this film. Like what
Thank you.
what do you want? And this doesn't. You can be as serious or not serious as you like.
Well, okay. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing a play.
Okay.
And I'm really thrilled about it. I haven't been on stage for 5 years.
What's the play?
I revere people who do play. I mean, theatre actors. I've done plays, but I've definitely
Your partner does a lot of plays.
my partner, Bobby's church is the theatre. That's his first love, and we have date nights at the theatre. Like we're a couple of geeks. So I'm doing a Noel Coward comedy, and I'm really excited. I'm very nervous. There's no one with that razor sharp, extraordinary writing and wit, and it's when you read it as an actor. It's like reading Chekhov, and it's a weird comparison, but it feels very easy. And then when you've actually tried to get it on its feet, you go, "Oh my gosh, this is wildly this is a tightrope," and that to me is very exciting.
My last question for you.
Yeah.
To bring it full circle. Do you remember that day you were 16 years old and you went to go see an Arthur Miller play?
Oh yes, I do. I remember it clearly. I remember what I was wearing.
Could you
who
tell
I
us
was with.
the story of that?
I went to see A View from a Bridge with one of my best friends, Nadia Townsend, who's now my dramaturg, we work together in that capacity, and she's brilliant. And we went to see A View from a Bridge, and I was a student. I was 16, and it was a production that was really very famous in Australia, starring the late Marshall Napier. He was extraordinary. The wonderful Essie Davies, and I was just thrilling in a core memory sense of the great Greek tragedy of it, the drama of it, the humor in it. It was one of those core kind of moments.
And any part of that 16-year-old think, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be here.
No, of having dreams
now
of
here
that.
in New York.
Yeah, and it was that feeling too, when you see something, or you read a book or you see something and you have to tell everybody. That's so, you can kind of count on one hand, right? Mm-hmm. I had to tell everybody, you've got to see this place. It's like that thing of like, you got to shout it from the rooftop because you cannot believe what you've just experienced. That was that feeling of chasing that kind of feeling, I guess, is some kind of subconscious thing I'm doing.
Well, I'm glad you've chased it. And I have to say, I felt the same thing watching this new film of yours.
Aw.
It's hard to make a good movie.
It's so hard.
And I think this one is a very special one. And to close, I know, and thinking of the movie, I know your father is a betting man. It used to be racetracks. Mm-hmm. Now I think he uses a site called Betfair.
Betfair.
I don't know if they have odds for Best Actress nominations, but if they do...
We should let him know. We should try to see if he can start placing bets.
And if he's listening, I think you should make the bet.
Oh, Sam, you're so sweet. That is, I'm so flattered. You're lovely.
I'm just trying to have your father make some extra money.
I appreciate that.
I hope you bet on yourself too.
Always, constantly.
Okay, good. Rose Byrne, thank you for the time.
Thank you.